I explained as well that I see clearly that Jethro in this chapter is shown as believing in God for the simple reason that Moses listened to him. If these words were not from God through Jethro to Moses, then he would not have listened to him. But more importantly, actually, even the way how he blessed God. Right? Laban were not allowed to say anything good or bad against Moses by God because he worshipped other gods. This guy was allowed to bless Moses, to bless the people, to ultimately even through them bless God, the Lord, Yahweh. And that proves, and as well to me, if you compare the situation with Laban and what happened here, Laban, what happened here, Jethro, then there's a total difference in what God allows and not allow. So for that reason, I clearly see that he is then a believer. Although, again, I mean, gee whiz, I get so tired of saying this, but the laws, 10 Commandments were not given at that stage, right? The whole structure of how to worship was not given. Yes, they would have had something coming from the past and in building altars and stuff like Abram did, and those kinds of things would have been. So they would have been at other kinds of rules, regulation at that stage. But the most important part's not there yet. And these guys, Jethro, so there was the setup was not there yet. And so yes, you can't then see so many people, especially dispensations, see that, oh, it's as if the church only started at Pentecost. What about Jethro? Was he not saved? What about Noah? Was he not saved? Seth, was he not saved? They were not Israelites. Right? They were not Jews. Well, Jews came from them, but other people came from them as well. Okay, so yes, there were other people out there who were true believers in God. And I think Jethro in this case was one of them. Okay, so, and then Jethro left after Moses did exactly as Jethro said. So yes, Moses listening to Jethro. God can speak through other people to you. Some people, Christians, I mean even through non-Christians, God can speak through you. They might not know. The high priest, Caiaphas, he prophesied that it's better for one to die than for the whole nation. And he stated that's a prophecy, although he was not a believer. Clearly, he was not a believer. Right? And so yes, even through non-believers, Paul quoted a Greek poet. And so that's in the Bible. Right? So even through non-believers, God can. Through believers, non-believers. God can work in different ways. He can speak through rocks if that is so. He can feed Elijah with birds, the crows, if that needs to be done, right? There's no border to whom God ultimately can use to further his his goals. Things will work out. So don't think just that because you are a pastor, no one in church can tell you anything because you know it all. You're a missionary. No one can teach you anything because you know it all. Look at me, I've been 30 years in the mission field. No one can teach me anything anymore about missions, about anything, right? No. Doesn't matter how long you've been a missionary, how long you've been a pastor. You can always learn and God can always speak through other people. And this is the interesting thing that God did this now. This is the first time where God used, not directly, but through other people, spoke to Moses. Today, I mean, prophecy. We all still think God needs to speak to prophets and all those kinds of things. You got the whole Bible. So many things. You just give that word to God, right? To people, not to God, to people. Give it to people. That's God's prophetic words. Yeah, and then lastly, the whole idea of letting other people help you. Some people are just loners. They want to do everything themselves. No one can ever do anything the way they want it. Trust me, I'm one of those. I think I do everything the way I want. I mean, the way I want it is the way I want it, and other people kind of do it the way I want it. So I just do everything on my own. I used to be a lot worse than I'm now. I learned how to work in teams. I learned how to let other people, even to make mistakes. But it is important that you do delegate. As a pastor, you can't do everything in church. As a father in a house, you can't do everything. As a missionary, you can't do everything. You need to find people to start training people to be on equal footing with you, right? The whole Presbyterian system of elders. People who can help you in the situation to lead the church because you don't know everything. You can't do everything on your own. Right? It's like a brother traveling now at the moment with me and asking him, what we are kind of, and just friends. Said, no, you're not just a friend, you're a brother in Christ and you're a co-worker. Without you, I can't do any of this. Right? That's the idea. Other people, doesn't matter who, less experienced, but they're strong in other aspects of life. And together you form a team. Moses could not go on. He would have burned himself. I did burn myself out when I was in my mid-20s because I just wouldn't do everything. I wanted to save the world and I wanted to do it without other people helping me. I burned myself out. The year I had to sit out. By the grace of God, I recovered. But so peace, people, for those who think that you need to do everything and you can do everything, no. You need to start trusting other people. You need to train. You need to disciple because Jesus said, make disciples. Right? Who can help you in this. So that all of you can grow. That you allow for other people to serve God as well. You can't moan about other people not wanting to serve God if you never give them a chance to serve God. Yes, you might give them a chance and they mess up. Right? Then you teach them and you give them another chance. Now, yeah, sure, after 5 or 10 chances, you kind of understand, okay, this guy's not going anywhere. But work with the number. I mean, Jesus had 11, 12 disciples, right? And one of them messed up royally. He committed suicide. I mean, Jesus knew that. But he still picked him. So you don't know how even that person with 10 chances are going to turn out. How God will use him like a Judas. He used Judas. So don't look at failures of other people in helping you and let that put you off. Give them a chance and train them. Train them more and more and more and more. You can't just say, oh, they're a failure because they're a failure. It's like for those who know rugby, the Sharks rugby team, there's so many Springboks, these Sharks, they're from KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. There's so many Springboks playing for that team. But they're at the bottom of the URC league because they just can't beat anyone. But when they put on the Springbok jersey, they beat everyone. Like South Africa's #1 team in rugby in the world, the Springboks that is. So, different coach. Who's guilty, the players or the coach? So if people don't do exactly like you do, you as well need to ask you a question. Is it because they are messing up? Or is it because you don't know how to work with people? You don't know how to work in teams. And therefore, because you actually don't want to work in teams, you want to stay individual and do everything on your own. So you actually make them, right, to mess up. No. Turn around. Be a team player. In other words, be a leader where you give other people a chance to grow and serve with you, like Moses had to learn here.